Hello, my name is Brenda, and I have never thought that I could find myself in such a situation. I hate conflicts, and I have always tried to give everyone as little trouble as possible. But once, I became a victim of cyberbullying, and it was a nightmare. I had heard about cyberbullying before, and I thought those were just first world problems. If you don't like someone's comments in social media, just block them and go offline. After all, sticks and stones can break your bones, but words can never hurt you. That's what I thought. And also, I had no idea that it could touch me in any way. I'm kinda shy and not very social. I am exactly one of those people you don't notice. Well, it's not cool, and I know it, but I hate attention. But once, I got too much of this attention and didn't know how to handle it properly. It all started at school during the lunch break when I suddenly started chatting with one of my schoolmates. We were in the same sociology class. He turned out to be quite smart, and we had some topics in common, so it was a pleasant conversation. For me, it was a new emotion, as I normally am the most silent person in class. Don't think I was in love with him or something. He was just a nice person. After break, we went to our classes, and the episode was over. So I thought. At the end of the day, I was approached by that boy's girlfriend. Her name was Liz, and her friends. They literally cornered me, and she started shouting at me that I was trying to steal her boyfriend. I hate confrontation, and I was pretty scared. Those allegations were so absurd. "Look," I said, "I have no intentions of stealing your boyfriend. I don't even like him." This seemed to irritate her even more, and the situation was getting out of control. I thought that it would tone her down a little bit if I said, "Look, even if I liked him, he obviously doesn't like me, right?" That was a mistake. She got furious and said that better for me not to be seen near him, never ever. Otherwise. She didn't specify what would happen otherwise, and after this threat, left me alone. I was exhausted. Conflicts tire me a lot. But it all seemed to end up well, and I got home relieved. I checked all my social media accounts. Even if I am pretty shy in real life, I overcome it when I am online. I have many contacts there, friends and followers, and I enjoy chatting with them. In a couple of hours, something strange started happening. I started at once getting lots of nasty comments from anonymous, freshly created accounts. They commented my pictures and posts, calling me names and saying I was fat, ugly, and stupid. I blocked them at once. Although they were anonymous, I figured out at once who it could be. Liz is the only person I had a conflict with. But, of course, blocking didn't solve anything. There were more new accounts who came to insult me. Liz mobilized all her friends. I had to close all the accounts from public. For the day, it ended. Next day at school, I saw Liz, who didn't show a sign that she was involved somehow in that story. I had to face her and ask what she thought she was doing. She appeared surprised and assured me that she had no idea what I was talking about. So false! But I had no proofs. However, I thought I had solved the problem for the time being by making my accounts private. Sure. When I came home, I found out that my friends started receiving nasty messages about me from the anonymous accounts. It was horrible! Of course, my good friends ignored and blocked them. But there were lots of people who didn't know me well, and who knows what they could think about me. This time the offenses were more elaborate. Those were gossips about me doing horrible stuff, like being a school bully, stealing things from classmates, shoplifting, etc. Of course, all these things made up. I had to report those users for cyberbullying, and they were blocked. But my bullies created new accounts. The worst thing was that first, they didn't seem to stop, and second, they always created new ways to torture me. Once, I found the entire haters community dedicated to me. There were pictures of me from school, reports on what I was doing, and all this with their sarcastic comments. I felt cornered. I couldn't feel safe at school and felt that someone was watching me all the time. Liz and her friends were looking at me and cackling all the time, but pretended not to understand what I was talking about when I faced them. Some of them even expressed their sympathy. Blocking the group didn't help. They created a new one at once. Of course, I could do something. Close all social accounts, for example, and go offline for a while. I tried, but I didn't manage for longer than a day. All my social life was in the internet, and I needed to control all the things haters wrote about me. Going to my parents or teachers didn't seem an option for me. I would be bullied even more after that, and I had no proofs those were Liz and her friends. And I hated the idea they would read those dirty things about me. I was ashamed. So I just started skipping lessons, especially those where I could meet Liz and her boyfriend. I arrived to the end of the year totally destroyed psychologically and with miserably low marks. I missed too many classes and hardly managed to pass my exams. At some point, my parents decided to find out what happened to me, and I had to admit that I was cyberbullied. I still said that I had no idea who that was, not to stick in further conflicts, and just begged them to let me change the school. After all, it worked out fine for me. I changed school and it all finished. I still remember it as the lowest point of my life, and now, thinking it over, I think I should have shared it with an adult and tried to find a solution. You don't need to waste several months of your life waiting that it finishes. Most probably it will not, so my advice in this case would be to speak up. Cyberbullying is a thing, and maybe you know someone who doesn't know how to deal with it. Share this video, spread a word, and subscribe to get more stories like mine.